We welcome you to another episode of Sports Talk. I'm Ted Emrich. 2 episodes left this season, and with the PGA Tour making its annual 2-week stop in the Metroplex, it's only fitting we close out with golf. We focus on the girls of McKinney ISD today, and Boyd enjoyed a banner season last year. The Lady Broncos somehow topped it this year. Coach Kay Dalke will stop by to share exactly how a team can win a district championship by 95 strokes. Boyd was led by a junior who won an individual district title and can't wait for a step up in competition next year. Boyd will join a district that features this year's 5A state champion. No district title for North this year, but you can't measure the Lady Bulldogs' success by trophies. Coach Chris James is here to tell us how a team persevered through a rebuilding year that nobody could have expected. Also coming up, the Dennis Baker State Farm Scholar Athlete of the Week. Next on Sports Talk. Well, as dominant as Boyd was last year in its district, the Lady Broncos tightened their grip on 10-5A this year as Coach Kay Dalke joins us now. And Kay, this is a district that's not known for golf outside of your team. Last year you win it by 53 strokes. This year, an astounding 95 strokes. How do you explain a massive improvement for a team that was already on a championship level?
I will say that there are a couple of teams in our district that gave us a good battle and worked very hard. But our girls it didn't seem to deter them from working hard. Our number one top 5 girls knew that they were going to win district, and probably pretty easily. It still didn't keep them from working, and they are great kids. They went out every day and did what they needed to do. And I think in the back of their mind they were hoping they could improve on last year's finish.
You were also experiencing history at the district tournament because you advanced both 5-member varsity teams. First time in this program's history that you did that. And what a great thing for this program, how beneficial it was for the top 10 golfers on this team, not just your top 5 advanced to regionals, but an extra 5. They get to experience what it's like to compete on the regional stage.
We came very close last year. We came within 5 strokes. On the second day of district last year, it was a battle throughout the entire 18 holes. It went up and down. We ended up on the short end of the stick last year. But this year, their goal, in fact, the entire top 10 had a goal of getting that second team out to regionals. First, they wanted to share that experience. The girls who had been to regionals continually talked about what an incredible experience it was for them. And it just kept those other girls excited, working hard. And we knew it would be a battle. You know, the way that it's set up, you don't quite know where you stand going into district because you don't always play those teams or play the same 5 girls, and those fluctuate. So we knew it was going to be tough, but they did it. They improved from the first day to the second day over the second place team from Naaman Forest, and or third place team, Naaman Forest. It was fun. I mean, they were so excited, and it was so thrilling to take 10 girls to the regional tournament.
And your 10 girls, Kay, finish in the top 10, both teams finishing in the top 10 at regionals. The second team 9th, your top team finishing 7th, and we know about 5A Region 2. This features eventual state runner-up the Woodlands, 3rd place Austin Westlake, which won the state title the year before. What was the feeling like at the end of regionals? Was it disappointment that, 7th place again for that top 5? Or was it understanding of the difficulty, how tough Region 2 really is?
I think we left a little disappointed because the first day we were in 5th place. We had a rough day the second day for whatever reason. You know, I guess if we knew the answers to that, we'd write a book and become famous and rich. But we didn't do as well the second day. So we left with kind of a bittersweet taste in our mouth. But what was incredible about having the second team there, who also finished top 10, was that 4 of those girls return and will vie for spots on the top 5 because we lose 3 seniors off the top 5. So the experience they got will, and I believe they'll be stronger next year than they were this year, the team as a whole. I believe even though we'll be in a tougher district, I do believe that they will score better next year than they even did this year.
Speaking of scores, a junior who is returning, Savannah Tracy, your lowest scorer all season long, your top player. She won the individual district title. She finished 30th at regionals. What makes Savannah so good on the course?
She has a very calm temperament. She's totally positive. I can go up to Savannah at any time, and no matter what has just happened, she already has a plan for the next few holes on how she's going to tackle them and conquer them. And that it shows in her golf game then. I came up to her at district tournament. She goes, if I par out, I'll have a such and such, score. I go, okay, go for it. And she did it. So she's just one that really stays positive in the moment. And you rarely see her get discouraged on the golf course no matter what's happening. That really helps her.
Kay, I'm sure you'll be depending on Savannah next year for leadership, much like you depended on your senior Autumn Hexamer this year. She was a player who will leave Boyd with a lot of hardware. Last year, the team's most improved player. This year, winning the Bronco Hart Award. What are you going to miss the most about Autumn?
Probably her steadiness and her willingness to encourage her teammates. We always do a go-home drill at the end of practice. And whether it's make 10 putts in a row or 2-putt, a 60-footer, or whatever it is, she would, and usually once you did that, you could leave. Once you completed that task. She stayed till the end and watched all her teammates every time. She gave it her all at every practice, but she's pretty quiet. But she's a quiet leader, quiet leadership. She was phenomenal, though. A lot of fun, too. She's a lot of fun. And fun to be around. So we'll miss that, but her steadiness and her willingness to go that extra mile with her teammates.
It seems like Autumn made a similar impact like Isabel Perry the year before, your team's MVP last year, known so much for her leadership, and Autumn exhibits it maybe in a different way, like you say, quiet leadership, but it's nice to have a senior every single year who can step forward, be that voice.
That's right. That's a key to a team, a small team, a team that you have, we have 18 girls. That's considered small, and we need that leadership. Things can fall apart real quickly when you don't have the girls on board.
Allison Brusso will graduate as the only 4-year varsity player on this program. What did you like about Allison this year as a senior?
I always called Allison the Tigger of the team. She has that excitement. She brings a lot to the table because she tends to be a very positive person as well. Fun. You enjoy being around her. We will miss her optimism and her just get up and go. And she has a great heart too. And we'll miss that about her probably the most.
Another senior, Christiane Slack, did not start the year at the varsity level. She was moved up at the semester break, and she became a key member of this team. In fact, won the Most Improved Player award at your team's banquet. What was the difference between Christiane at the beginning of the year and what you saw at the end of the year?
Probably if we go back 1 year to tryouts, when I first came to Boyd 2 years ago, Christiane was involved in the tryout process. She'd been a part of the morning program. They didn't get to play golf really. They practiced, but they didn't get on the golf course. And so at tryouts, I asked them, all, because we'd had a rain problem on one day, second day it's 105 degrees. We're going to go out and play 3 holes and evaluate what you look like on the golf course and all. And I see her over in the corner crying. She's absolutely in distress. And I walk over and I go, what's the problem? She goes, I've never played golf, and I can't do it. And I said, well, it's tryouts, so you'll have to play at least 1 hole for me. So through tears, she played that 1 hole. And you could tell she had some ability. She had just never been out on the course. By fall, and then this summer, we gave her some requirements this past summer. You need to play an X amount of tournaments and all that. She did it all. She came back ready to go, and by Christmas we said, you know what, you are ready to move to the top 10. She was scoring well enough. And it was an amazing story to see her go from not being able to even get on the golf course to becoming a top 10 varsity member and earning a letter jacket. Incredible for her.
That's got to be one of the most gratifying moments of your high school career, coaching career so far?
I think so. That turnaround I saw in her and the confidence level, her teammates loved her, total encourager on the course. I mean, you can't ask for anything more than that. I'm so thankful that she decided that day 2 years ago, through the tears, to go out and hit the ball 7, 8, 9 times, however many times she had to hit it. I'm glad she did it because that was a real turning point for her, I think, in her confidence and in her life. And now, when we go out to practice, she'll be the last one there. She loves it, absolutely loves it, and loves the discipline it calls on from the individual. She loves all of it. We've really made an impact in her life, and I think that as a coach is probably what makes coaching so special, is that every now and then you'll catch a glimpse of a change you've made in someone's life. Sometimes you may not see it for 5 or 10 years, but I do believe that we did. And she's come back and told us that we made a huge impact. That's really special. And I have to mention my assistant coach. She's had a big part in all of this. Beth Pearl has been the assistant here for several years, and I could not do it without her. She's a paperwork queen. And there's a lot of paperwork in these jobs. And she is at every practice. She took care of the JV this year when we had separated them and had the old morning girls come in the afternoon, and she took care of them. I could not do it without Beth Pearl.
You lose 4 seniors, Kay, Autumn, Allison, Christiane, as well as Catherine Schweitzer,
Right.
who has certainly left her imprint on this program as well. What kind of legacy overall do they leave behind?
Well, Catherine, just to mention a moment about her, she had such, she was a fierce competitor. And probably the one thing about Catherine that I will miss is just her will to be good and how much she'd work at it. And you didn't like to get around her at practice sometimes if things weren't going well because she was so fierce and her spirit was so fierce. But, and so we'll miss that about her. She is really probably one of the best competitors with that spirit inside her that I've ever seen. But I will miss, I think, you know, in the 2 years I've been here, those 4 girls have been critical to our program. And our program will not be the same without them. We have some big shoes to fill. I'm going to miss their camaraderie. This girls' team has great unity. And we did last year as well, and this year has been incredible again. And it's just rare that you find that kind of camaraderie when you get 18 girls together. And we've had it this year again. And those 4 girls have led that. And we've had a lot of fun road trips, a lot of fun rides in the car, and a lot of fun tournaments because they are such a great team together.
And Kay, while that quartet ends its career, freshman Kelsey Lumpkin is just starting her career. What a start it's been. She was your newcomer of the year. She finished second to Savannah Tracy in your year-end Bronco Cup Match Play Championship. What kind of player do you imagine Kelsey becoming?
I think Kelsey will be a great leader. She has just a golf savvy that not everyone has, and she does. She's grown up in a family of golfers. And she's got that fierce competitive spirit coming out that I saw in Catherine Schweitzer. So I really think that she's going to do a great job. And I would foresee that she'll be playing college golf down the road. And we have one other freshman, Lauren Wagner, who will have a great impact this next year on our varsity program as well. She played around 7th or 8th for us this year as a freshman. So she will also do great things, I think, down the road.
You mentioned college golf. Autumn Hexamer heading to UT Tyler to continue her career, so we look forward to seeing what she can do. Meanwhile, next year for your team, it is a new district like you touched on, and it includes McKinney High, the 3 Plano schools, and the reigning state champion in Class 5A, the Allen Eagles. What do you do to prepare your team for the step up in competition?
I think they're ready for it. I think for 2 years we've known our #1 team would get out. Although they've worked hard, I think they are now ready to step it up and really tackle that challenge. I don't see any problem with that. I think they'll take it on. It will be tough to win our district, definitely, but we'll do our best to try. And maybe if that doesn't work out, we'll get second. Next year, there are some changes at the regional level, and that could come in handy for us as well if we do improve it. I think we'll be better next year. That they'll take 3 teams from regionals to state instead of just 2. So these strong regions will have more representation. And our region this year needed to send 3 teams at least, and we didn't get to. So that's a great change.
Kay, thanks so much for the time. Best of luck going forward.
Thank you very much.
Kay Dalke, head coach of the Boyd Broncos. Hey, they look forward to testing themselves against the state's best in Allen, but the way things are going, especially the last 2 years, you could make the argument that Boyd is already among the state's best themselves.